Hello, lighting industry. I'm Jim Hutchison from CHAUVET Professional, and this is Lighting Insights. This month's Lighting Insights video newsletter is about something we're all pretty used to using on a regular basis. Non-pan and tilt moving head parameters. Things like iris, frost, zoom optics, and your gobo wheels. Everyone knows how to use pan and tilt, so we're going to kind of keep pan and tilt off to the side and talk about the parameters that really give the beam an interesting look. One of my personal lighting design mentors, a guy named Benny Kirkham, told me once about moving heads. He said, just because you have moving lights doesn't mean they have to be moving all the time. That's a perfect application for what we're going to talk about today, non-pan and tilt parameters. You have so many non-pan and tilt parameters available in most moving heads, so why not try something different in your bag of lighting designer tricks for your next production? When you pick fixtures for a show, it's really up to you to use the parameters of that specific fixture in the most creative way possible. Plus, it's a lot of fun to take parameters like frost and add them across a chase across your entire rig. Let's take a small look at some of the non-pan and tilt parameters that you have at your disposal in most moving heads. Zoom optics and iris parameters. Now, these two parameters inside of most moving heads perform relatively similar functions, but the way that they operate inside of the fixture is quite different. The iris, appearing down by the aperture or the gate of the fixture, literally determines how big the beam is going to be. Zoom optics perform a very similar function, but instead of determining the size of the beam at the aperture, the zoom optics appear in the optics train and they magnify what's coming out of the aperture. Take your zoom optics parameter or your iris parameter, or both, and run them across a simple dynamic offset step effect in your lighting console. And see the kind of magic that just manipulating the size of the beam is going to do for you. Now take a simple parameter like frost. Frost is meant to go in the beam to take the edges away and make it a big washy beam of light. Now if you had a bunch of really hard focused beams in your plot, and you run an effect like frost on a step across the entire rig, you're going to see some pretty amazing looks happen without using the pan and tilt parameter at all. Gobo wheels. Everybody knows that you can take a gobo, slap it into the aperture, and rotate it, run a prism in front of it, make it do all kinds of great aerial and texture effects. But what about scrolling the gobo wheel? When you apply a scrolling gobo wheel on top of any of your moving head edge fixtures, you are going to get many different beams go almost shattering through the air as they roll through the aperture. Now here's just a couple of things to think about when you're designing your next rig. You don't always have to have your moving heads moving as fast as they can. You don't always have to have your color wheel parameters moving as fast as they can. And certainly try to do things like take it slow. Take an effect that you would normally run, make it really slow or considerably less fast than you've got it running, and see what it looks like over music. I find that you're going to be pleasantly surprised when you do things like manipulate the speed that you consider your effects. That's it for this month's Lighting Insights newsletter. Please check us out at lightinginsights.chauvetproblog.com. I'm Jim Hutchison with CHAUVET Professional. We'll see you next month.